I got that fresh Pfizer, my second dose yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was quite an experience. I feel fulfilled, done with my commitment to humanity. I have been vaccinated. But I
I,
don't know. Uh huh.
I was gonna say it was weird going to get my first dose
Which one did you get?
because the Pfizer one.
Oh, okay. We're Pfizer sisters. You know what? Yesterday, when I went to go get my vaccine, I
Mm,
forgot to take a sweater, and my appointment was at 6:30. And because at first I wasn't able to make an appointment,
mm,
so they pretty much told me just be there by 5. So I was like, okay, I'll be there by 5. And then when I got off of work, they called me asking me if I was going to come in to take the vaccine because I hadn't made an appointment. And I was like, oh, yeah, I hadn't been able to make an appointment because I didn't get the email. And they pretty much told me, oh, like, if you go on right now, you can make an appointment. I'm like, cool. But they're like, we just want to make sure you're coming. And I'm like, yes, I will be there.
you
And
said
so,
hold my dose.
yeah, hold my dose. Hold the line, brother. And they held it, and I went and I got it. But you know what? I don't know what it was about this second vaccine. I've heard around the bend that people were saying that it hurts more than the first one, which I'm all like, it's just an IM injection. They all feel the same. Like, I don't know. Like, people always say when they get the flu vaccine that it hurts. And, like, I never get any pain from the flu vaccine. I just shake it off, rub some dirt on it, like a champ.
I'm like, I
But
wouldn't know because I haven't gotten flu vaccine.
and so I've never gotten any pain. So I don't know what they mean. But I was hearing that the second one hurt more. So, I went, I was like, it's gonna be the same thing. I go, no. That shit did hurt. That shit stung. I was like, I'm like, I've never felt this sensation before. Like during a freaking injection. What's that face
Well,
though?
from because I'm trying to picture it. Is it from the needle or from like it going inside of your body?
It just the hit, just it, like me being penetrated by that needle was not a fun
Oh, yeah, it was
experience.
the needle. I don't know, cause like I was hearing that too, but I didn't feel anything at all.
But you've only had your first one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, because when I had my first one, they said the same thing too, which I didn't feel either. Like the first
yeah.
one, I was fine. The only thing that I did have was the next day. That arm was really sore for about a day and a half. So, like,
Mm.
yeah. But other than that, that was it. This one, no. Like, I don't know. Like, it's funny because everyone says the same thing. They're like, I don't know if it was the nurse or if it was an injection. And it was funny because when she injected me, I was also like, did this nurse, like,
Stab
do
you?
yeah. And
You're like, did she stab me?
like did she
Was that
stab me
supposed
with
to happen?
like did she stab me to like listen, bitch, I was not having a good day. This is how I take out my aggression on the world. Because the first nurse, she was real happy. She's like, I'm doing this to help you. And it went in, no issues. I knew that it was all love and light. This one, I'm not 100% sure. She was smiling, she was real nice, but that injection said something completely different.
Oh no.
But yeah, but I don't know if it was because when I went, the other lady, when she did it, like I saw her, finding her points and stuff like that. She was like measuring, checking, like, all right, this is where it's supposed to be. I'm like, all right, cool, like, all right. So she did it. This other nurse, she just grabbed the fat of my arm and just smushed it and just meow, and just went right in. And it's funny because she like cleaned, like, because with all injections they have to clean you with alcohol. So
Hmm.
like she like wiped and then grabbed and stabbed. So I'm like, I don't know if she didn't give the alcohol enough time to like dry, because she just neat, neat, boop, and that's when it was like, it's stinging, it hurts. But I wasn't gonna say that to her. I wasn't gonna look like a little bitch in front of her.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I'm just there like,
Gotta be tough.
yeah. So I was like, all right, thank you. And as I'm leaving, I'm like, this stings. It still hurts. Like, literally, it stung for like, well, I was sitting there for 15 minutes. It was still stinging. And in the car, I was like, my arm already feels like it's going to be sore already. And it's only been 30 minutes into this journey. But the crazy part is, it doesn't hurt right now. Like, it's just slightly sore. It's not as sore as it was the first time at all. Because the next day from the first one, I was not having a good time. Like, my arm was really sore. I don't know if you had the same experience because, everyone is built different. But my arm was sore. And today, it's fine. It's just slightly sore. Like, it's not the way it was. But
Mm-hmm.
it did hurt more the second one.
Mm.
But, you know, it was all the same.
Hey,
0.3 ml, all good. I don't know.
we'll see how it goes when I get there.
Yeah, sorry. Castiel's in the litter box taking his morning shit. So I'm going to be stuck in a room that smells like shit. Thank you for covering it with all that panache.
Hey, at least he learned. Caligula never learned. He tries them.
I don't get it though, Castiel. Like, okay, when you have a litter box,
Mm-hmm.
all of the litter is on the floor. Castiel, he'll start on the floor, you know, start nip nap, but then he'll eventually start reaching for the walls, start reaching on the outside of the litter box.
He said, "I smell something over here. Hold on."
He's like, I just gotta get it all in here. It was just like, I just look at him and it's just like, how, like, do you feel like you're getting anything? Like, what's going on? And sometimes he just stares at me while he's doing it. I'm like, are you just going through the motions? Like,
He got to clear out that air. He's swiping the air away too.
girl.
He said, "I don't want nobody to know nothing. I was
don't
never
know.
here."
Well, the smell lingers, and I know you was here. I can smell that you were here.
Yeah, I
Bam.
gotta get some room spray.
You know, we have Ozium, but I don't know. Like, sometimes I feel like it's a slippery slope. Like, sometimes you can spray like a second too long, and then it's just like strong. Like, it smells like orangesicle
yeah.
in here, like real strong.
Yeah, because the Bath and Body Works one, for such a small can, is very concentrated. And when it says no more than 2 sprays, for real, no more than 2 sprays, because like if you spray a third, you ain't gonna be able to breathe. You're gonna be swimming in a sea of flowers or black cherry merlot, because we really like that one.
Oh
here.
yeah, black cherry merlot is the tits. I love that one.
Man, I like this one. It smells like soap. The fresh cut lilacs.
It smells like soap.
Yeah. And if you spray more than 2,
That's it.
I tell people, if you're gonna come over to my house, you need to use a spray in the bathroom. Do not spray more than 2.
Please
because
follow
not only are you gonna
instructions.
die in there, but then the spray is also gonna come out and it's gonna attack the rest of us because it is too strong.
That sucks. I don't know. It's just like, there's no instructions on this one. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I didn't read the instructions. Like, I don't know. They're all like, count to 5. I don't know. I just kind of like, and I'm like, all right. And then, you know, I wafted, and I'm like, all right, I still need a little more. And then, you know, but sometimes I get distracted. Like, someone will say hi, and I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, evacuate the facility, please.
Oh, no.
Run for your lives. If you have asthma, you will die. But yeah.
I bought a new crystal.
Oh, you did?
It's a shape of a heart.
Oh, how cute. Oh my god. I don't know why. Okay, so, you know, I've been watching the X-Files. And I just watched a Valentine's Day episode. And I guess this lady could, like, make it rain or whatever. And, you know, I guess she got engaged to this dude. And he pretty much like, I don't want to tell anyone yet. You know, let's keep this between us. But, you know, she's just too excited. So, you know, she puts an ad out on the paper. Because, you know, back then, we didn't have, like, you know, social media like this.
Facebook,
yeah. So she put an ad out on the paper about them being, you know, engaged. And then, you know, he got all mad and stuff like that. He's like, I think we need a break or something. So, you know, she gets all sad.
Wait, how long were they supposed to be engaged for and not tell anybody?
I have no idea. And, you know, he gets out because the whole premise is that it hasn't rained in a while. Mm-hmm. So, like, his business is being hurt by it. So I'm guessing he's like a farmer or something. But yeah, so, you know, he leaves and he goes out driving and, you know, she's all sad. She's in her room. She's crying and shit like that. And he's driving. All of a sudden it starts raining and he's real excited because it's raining. He's like, yeah, it's fucking raining, you know? So he's driving all happy, you know? And all of a sudden it starts hailing. And it starts hailing really bad that it starts, like, hitting the fucking windshield and it starts breaking through. And, you know, he ends up getting in a car accident. Rain. Yeah, he ends up getting in a car accident and stuff like that. And his windshield's all busted. And a giant piece of hail just smacks him on the head. And then he kind of, like, goes like, ugh. and dies. Well, I don't know if he dies. I didn't watch the episode. But, spoiler alert. But they zoom out and they start showing all the hail. And all the hail is shaped like a heart.
Wow.
And I just watched that yesterday. And now you have a little heart-shaped crystal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's funny. Like, lately, I feel like I've been seeing a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
And it just happens to relate to something I've seen or something I've experienced. And I'm like, wait, this is a little creepy. Why are we all so connected? We need to, like, space out 6 feet spiritually because I cannot with all these connections I'm getting. Like, please give me a break. My spirit needs a break.
It be like that sometimes.
But yeah, I like that crystal. Where'd you get it?
There's like a shop that I just found, and one of my coworkers told me about on Broadway. So I went over there.
Oh, that's cute. For my birthday, Delolo got me some stuff, and maybe she went to that same shop because she got me a crystal and a whole bunch of like other really nice stuff like incense and shit. It's really nice.
They had little everything.
Yeah, and I'm thinking she said she went to Broadway too, so maybe it's the same shop.
Maybe it's the same place. But it was cool. It's a nice little shop. Lots of different crystals and stuff. They had various sages and creams and sprays. Lots and lots of crystals.
That's nice. Like, I like that, you know, spirit. So what is? Please say the word for me. Spiritual.
What, like spiritualism, spirituality?
It's more in the mainstream now. You know, back then you had to fucking like find places that were like you couldn't even tell what they were because you know people were like out here hiding, like, you know, don't see me but see me so you can buy my stuff, you know. But now, like, you know, it's pretty much everywhere. You can go anywhere and you'll find stuff, and you know, it just makes it easier to acquire things, which I think is really cool. But that's a beautiful thing about living here is, you know, you can be any religion you want and there should be no hate.
Yeah, I mean, it's also helpful that we live in California.
Yeah, I can't picture myself buying that stuff in Idaho.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have like a burning cross on my lawn or something. I just
something weird, yeah. They'll be like, how dare you? And I'm like, it's rocks. You can't sell rocks. Y'all mad I'm selling rocks. That's what
You tell me I can't keep the Earth's kidney stones. Like they're free. So, you ready for today's story? Which is kind of in a creepy... Okay, so...
It's creepy.
Yes, very creepy. So, get ready. Grab your sage. Grab whatever you need. Because you going to need to sage it out at the end of the day. Hold your crystal to your heart and just be like, please, keep me protected.
Moving toward the Earth's enormous velocity.
Thank him.
Knowledge far in advance of our own.
That's a smart thing.
Contact has established. We now transmit you direct. Item 9.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is terrific.
All right. So, there was a radio show in Mexico that started in August 13, 1995 called La Mano Peluda, which pretty much means the hairy hand, the fuzzy hand, the furry hand, whatever you want to call it. And it was created by a guy named Mario Cordova, and his first host was Ruben Garcia Castillo. You know, he was just the host for about 4 years, but for some reason, you know, he had to go, and he passed the baton to one of the most notable hosts of the show. His name was Juan Ramon Sainz, and he pretty much had this radio show from 1999 to 2010. And this was one of the... Yeah. Girl, I am so mad. Like, we were alive at this point.
Yeah.
But the thing that sucks, like, I know at this point I could have been translating all this stuff to you, but I didn't hear any of this. Like, I feel like I missed out. I missed out. Anyway. So, this was one of the first horror stations or, like, horror channels or whatever. And, you know, pretty much the premise of the show is people call in and they say stories. Like, they're ghost stories or horror stories, you know. So yeah, they call in and they pretty much just tell like the urban legends or the ghost stories or any kind of paranormal story they have. This is their platform. It would be on Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. So, roughly 2 hours. And you could either log on to 1470 AM or 104.1 FM or on the internet, which is how this person, I think, heard this station. So, in 2002, a young man named Josue Velasquez calls this radio station from El Monte, California. He's from here. He's from Cali. And he is known as one of the most memorable stories that they've had there. And for good reason. His shit was fucking... I'm telling you, I heard it and I was like, oh my God, someone help this man. Hold on. Let me send you, because I have some clips that I want you to listen to.
All right.
Don't listen to it yet, because it's really long. This clip is like 2 hours long.
Yeah, I see. It was like 2 hours, 44 minutes.
He was literally on for the whole show. But his story is really fucking crazy. Okay. And not only that, but this... I'll tell you when we get there, because his story is even spicier after his call ends, but we'll get there. So Josue Velasquez calls from El Monte, California, and he pretty much tells the host that he's been trying to make a pact with a demon or the devil for the past 5 years.
Why does he want to do this?
He pretty much wants to make a pact with the devil because at the age of 14, his whole family got it like an economic crash, or they pretty much just lost everything. Not that they had everything at the beginning anyway, but he lived like in middle class, and when they lost everything, he just really went down, and he wasn't used to being such, a pleb. He just wasn't used to being so poor, and he was accustomed to a certain lifestyle, and this was not it. This was not cutting it.
So he was like, I gotta make a deal with the demon. Like, I can't live like this. This is not it.
It's gotta get done. But you know what? It wasn't like that at first. Like, at first he said that, he did try to do stuff for his family to help them, with money. But he was only 14, you know what I mean? He was still going to school and stuff like that. So it's a lot harder for him. So, he does what every good boy does. He prays to God. God ain't cutting it for him. He's saying that he tried to reach out to God so much, but he just wouldn't get anything in return. And one day, he stumbled upon a book of witchcraft. And in this book, it said that it would teach him how to make a pact with a demon called Lucifugio Rofocale. And I've never heard of this one before, so don't ask me.
I'm like, I don't know either.
But he pretty much explains that Lucifugio. I was saying it so well before, and now that I'm here, I'm like, where is my wordage? Lucifugio Rofocale is not the main bitch. Like, he's not the devil, but, he's pretty high up there. And, people know him as many names like Beelzebub or, Lucifer. But, like I said, he is not the main.
Aren't those two different people anyway?
Yeah. But,
because I feel like, did we talk about Beelzebub before?
No, not on the show, but we have talked about him in private.
Yeah, because he's the, Lord of Flies or whatever, right? Or like
I don't
Demon
remember.
Of Flies or something
I think so. Yeah, something like that. But he did say, I don't remember, but he did say, in a lot of different, books and stuff like that, they, switch the names around, or they call them, there's something different. So I guess it just depends on what you believe and what you're reading.
Okay.
If any of you guys want to give us some info, go ahead, send us the info. His main objective with this was obviously to get money. So he's like, listen here, bub. My main goal is that I want this mun, but I also want knowledge. I don't want if people see me with, rolling with all these, bennies in my hand, they need to know that I'm a smart ass bitch and I earned that coin. You know what I mean? So he's all like, money, knowledge, material goods. I want it all. Give me everything, right? And, you know, he got this book, and this book promised it all, too. So, you know, he gets this book, and he's like, all right, I'm really serious about this, but I don't want to mess up. So he ends up, you know, going to visit, you know, spiritualists, witch doctors, you know, asking them all what he can do. And, you know, he's getting, you know, advice from them too. But at the same time, he's also learning different languages. Like, he starts to learn, he ends up learning Latin, Greek, and old Arabic. No. Yeah, and old Arabic and 3 other languages, pretty much to help him understand the material that he's reading, because he says that
it was a mix of various languages.
Yeah, and he pretty much found these because he said these were the most reliable texts he can find for actual real satanic rituals. So, you know, he's real serious about this, and, you know, he starts learning chants and all that stuff, and he thinks about it, you know what I mean? He's all like, I really, really want to make a deal with the devil, but I'm not willing to sacrifice my soul.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do anything else, but my soul is a no-go.
Dang.
Which he's saying, like, he was scared that his soul was gonna burn in hell. But I'm all like, really? Are you serious?
I don't know. Maybe just because my mind be, like, in the gutter. I'm like, okay, so you don't want to sacrifice your soul if this demon asks you for your body.
Yeah. Like, you know, I guess his body is a go.
Yeah, I'm like, you didn't say that was off the table. If he's like, all right, I'm gonna use you real quick, and then you can have these material items that you asked for. Now you have a demon sugar daddy, and you gotta pay up.
Yeah, but the thing is, I feel like if you're offering your body, didn't you technically just pay, or was that a down payment?
I guess it depends on how much. Like, do you have to keep paying because there were multiple things you were asking for? Or is it just a one-time payment?
Good question.
Like, do you get all of these things, this money, this knowledge, material possessions, but the demon can come visit you whenever he chooses?
You know what? You're pretty much on the right track. You're not wrong.
like the movie spoiler alert, like in the movie The Entity, where homegirl was like, at home, and then now she's being sexually assaulted by ghosts.
Yeah.
She was in the car driving, being sexually assaulted by ghosts. So it's just like, do you guys set up a time frame or?
Oh man. So like I said, you know, he found that book. He found, you know, it was in old Hebrew. So it had a whole chapter on how to make contact with Satan. Mm-hmm. So, you know, he starts, you know, chanting it up, praying, calling them, you know. He does everything he needs to do in that book. So he does this for about a year, and then it happens. He's out there like, come to me, show yourself to me. Come on, man, let me see you. And he gets it. So at some point in that year, he says that he got really, really desperate. So he found the same chance. But
wait, he's still a teenager?
He doesn't say. He says he started at 14, so he must have been like 15 or 16. Okay, he does explain.
Still a teenager at this point.
Yeah. In another interview that I had seen with him, he says that he was able to gain so much knowledge just because he was practicing already. Like, he was doing like little like rituals and here and there, and he was already starting to gain things. So the first thing that he was gaining was knowledge. He says that he was able to read things and he was able to like memorize them fairly quickly. So he was leveling up fast. So that's why it was easier for him to be able to make contact so quickly. And, you know, he ends up finding a ritual where pretty much he commits kind of like suicide. He cuts his veins, and he starts a whole ritual. You know, he's chanting, he's doing all his stuff, and then that's when he comes up. He meets, I think he says that he meets Lucifugio Rofocale, and, you know, he's in the bathroom, and he says that all of a sudden this man in black appears and sits right next to him, and he's tripping balls. Like, he's freaking out because, you know, he was alone and now someone else appeared. And it's like, he said at first he was just scared because he was expecting to, you know, see a demon. He was expecting, you know, He was expecting to see, that pitchfork, the horns, the tail, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
But that's not what he got. He just got some dude.
A man.
Yeah, just some dude, some thin black, this thin dude in black just next to him, and he's supposed to be by himself. And people are scarier than any demon. So, just saying. Anyway, so he's, freaking out. He's like, dude, who are you? Like, what are you doing here? And he says that the demon turns to him and just looks at him very calm. He's like, I thought you wanted me to come up. What happened, bro? I thought I was invited. And he's just, freaking out. And at this point, that's the first time he made contact with the demon. And, he asked him, like, you can't be the devil. I'm over here trying to summon the devil. And he's like, listen, I did not claim I was a devil. I am just, here coming because you called me. I am not making any claims to be, the higher lord. Please do not confuse us. Because, he could probably get in trouble for that. So they have a nice little chat and he introduces himself to him. And, he says that in a lot of these things, which already in the witchcraft, we have something called petitions. And, that's pretty much where you write on a piece of paper what you want. So he, pretty much he's thinking that he's going to have to give this demon a petition, but the demon doesn't ask for anything. He's just like, all right, bro, follow my lead, So this demon ends up teaching him a lot of stuff. Because don't forget, one of the things he did want was knowledge. So, he starts teaching him all this stuff. Like, he ends up teaching him how to bewitch a dog, how to cause harm to humans just by, like, calling him and, asking for things. So, he starts learning all this stuff. But, it wasn't long for him to start feeling disappointed because that's not what he wanted. Like, yes, he wanted knowledge, but at the same time, he wanted that mun. This is all about the Benjamins, you know what I mean? And he wasn't getting it. So, he calls a family meeting and he's like, dude, what's going on? This is not what I want. He's like, I want money. And the demon's like, listen, I don't want to know none of this dark magic stuff. Like, I called you because I wanted money. And, at this point, he even wrote a list. He's like, this is the list. This is the stuff that I want. Here's my petition. And, the demon just pretty much shuts it down. And he tells him, like, listen, I don't need that shit. Just follow my lead and it's all gonna work out. He's like, listen, if you learn from me, you can learn how to use people and get the stuff you want from them. Like, obviously, you could bewitch a dog. You can, like, cause these people harm. Like, you can get people to, like, give you stuff. But, in my head, I was like, he's probably, like, 14, 15 around this time. And, like, if you're going to school and you tell little Timmy, give me your jacket. Little Timmy gives you his jacket. Little Timmy goes home. Mom's like, where's your jacket at? Oh, I gave it to Josue over there. Timmy's mom's probably going to go over to his house and be like, you need to give my kid back his jacket.
Oh, yeah. Or she going to
be
like,
what I mean?
Tomorrow when you go to school, get your jacket back.
Yeah, something like that. So I'm all like, I don't know how it works. So I'm like, for me, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, this kid is not, like, has no job, nothing. Like, how is he getting this stuff?
Yeah, but then at the same time, like, he's also in high school. So I don't know if it works that way either. I don't know. Yeah, it's difficult picturing it.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying, like, for me, that didn't make sense. Like, obviously, demon logic doesn't make sense. I'm sure they're pretty much you take, and we kill everyone else. You know what I mean? But, like, Josue didn't want that, really, Like, well, I don't know. He said he was down to do anything. So, pretty much, the demon just tell him, like, listen, just follow my lead. I'm going to teach you how to use people so you can get everything you want. All you need to do is get 6 of your homies and take them up to this hill, and we need to do a ritual. So, he starts prepping Josue for an 8-month-long ritual. And he does eventually find 6 people to go with him. Like, he pretty much...
He gets some followers?
He doesn't get followers, but remember how I had told you that he can pretty much manipulate people? Like, he was able to bewitch dogs. So he pretty much is able to have people do things without them remembering type of thing. Okay. So I'm not exactly sure if that's what he does because he doesn't really explain. Yes. So I like from what he's explaining, that's what I picture going on. But like I said, I don't know. He doesn't say exactly how he got these 6 other people to go with him, but he did get 6 people. So you know, he gets those 6 people and they do the ritual. And after that, he does end up getting some of the stuff that he wanted. But now he's scared because now he's actually getting stuff in return and he doesn't know what he has to pay because this entity didn't tell him what he's gonna give up for these things. So, you know, he goes back to him and he's like, listen, thank you for giving me all this stuff, but I'm not willing to give up my soul. I'm not giving that up. And the demon's like, it's all right, bro. It's all right. I got a fix for that. Give me a goat. So he ends up telling Josue to hook him up with a goat. So he gets a goat and they end up doing another ritual. And, you know, at this point, he starts doing a whole lot of rituals for this demon, and things just start getting stronger and stronger and stronger up till this demon ends up asking for a whole ass baby. He's like, get me the baby from down the street. And the thing is, he was going to do it. He said, like, you know, he had it all set up. He had the altar ready, you know, all the herbs, you know, ready. But he was having some doubt because I guess at this point he was getting stuff, but for the amount of effort he was putting out, he wasn't getting that much back. He was not getting that much back. So he ends up consulting shamans, witch doctors, and pretty much they all call him a dumbass bitch. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, obviously he's not gonna give you what you want, because if he could have, he would have given it to you already. So, you know, he's still kind of going through it. He still hasn't acquired the baby, but, you know, he was down. But, you know, he was pretty much saying that this demon was just spinning him around in circles, you know what I mean? And he wasn't getting what he wanted. So he pretty much just calls another family meeting and he's like, you know what? We're done. No more. So, bye. And the crazy thing is, even though he tells this demon, like, we are no longer working together, it, like what you said happens. This demon does not leave him. Like, he is literally stuck with this demon. And at this point, this guy is 20 years old. He's 20 years old and he still has that demon attached to him. So, you know, he ends up moving up to another conjuring book. He finds another book. He's like, all right, maybe this is the one. And, you know, he's setting up shop in his living room and he starts a ritual. He starts at 10 p.m. and finishes at 2 a.m. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he's really exhausted from, you know, doing all his chants and stuff like that. So he's like, I'm going to go lay down now. Mm-hmm. So, you know, he starts going to his room. And all of a sudden, he sees this pig standing on its 2 hind legs, fucking attacking his mom. His mom is just, like, in his little hoof hands. And he's like, like, he's like, smacking her. Like, yeah, he's like smacking her around. He's just like, you know, attacking her. And he says that he doesn't exactly know, like, how he got the courage, but he pretty much just yelled at her, like, hey, cut that shit out. And the fucking pig demon over here is fucking, like he's saying, yeah, like attacking
it's
him.
Hilarious and terrifying at the same time.
Yeah, well, I don't know, because he said that it was like screeching, like screams. Like, he said it was like the most blood-curdling sound that he's ever heard. Like, but, you know, he just had, like, you know, like, I don't know what I pictured. I just pictured this pig standing on 2, like it's funny because I picture like a fat pig, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like how you gonna get beat by a pig? I don't know. Like, I'm sure hands,
but it probably hurt.
Yeah, because they're hooves, you know what I mean? Like, that shit would hurt, right? But I don't know. Anyway, he ends up fucking telling him, put my mama down. He puts her down, and the pig pretty much is like, follow me. So he follows the pig out to the door, and he says, when
he could have just asked. You should have to do that to his mom.
I know. I don't know what happened. Like, at this point, it's like, dude, he's attacking your mom. One of the main reasons you're fucking doing all this shit in the first place. Okay, because one of the main things, like, you know, he wants money because, you know, for his family, obviously, but also for him. But, you know, your family is another priority, too. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you just gonna let this pig beat your mom? Like, you know, at this point, he's catching some hands. Like, before we go, we fighting. And they're like, all right, let's go. Anyway, so, you know, they go out to the door. And so this guy had 2 centers of operation, right? One of them was his house. Like, he was doing all his stuff from home. But then when he met the first demon, you know how they ended up doing like all these rituals and stuff like that? He needed more space. So this demon pretty much told him like, we need another space. And he pretty much found like this land on top of a hill, and he pretty much just made that like their like ritual spot. So, you know, the pig, they go out, and all of a sudden this dude says they start flying. They are flying in the air, and they end up going, you know, to Center of Operation number 2. And they're there. And he says that in that area, there's a cave. So the pig just like, get in the cave. So bro goes into the cave. And this pig keeps him there for 21 days. And yeah, he's in this cave for 21 days.
Nobody's looking for him?
That's what I said. I'm like, where's your mom? Like, where are these people? Like, does anyone love you?
My mom, day of, Kimberly, why haven't you picked up your phone? Where are you? Then she go call you. Where is she? She go call my job. Hello? Where is she?
Where's she? But you know, this is different. They didn't have phones, but definitely your mom would have visited me. She's like,
they didn't have phones.
Oh, they did. They did have phones. Well, he was 14. They didn't have cell phones. Is what I'm saying.
You say at this point he's 20.
No. This is when he's still 14.
Okay.
So all this stuff that's happening right now,
This
is the pre.
Okay.
Him making a call for help. So he's still like a teenager at this time, which definitely, like, where is he? Like, where are the parents? Where are the people? But you know,
the school
whatever.
Didn't call. Like,
from my recollection, from going to, you know, from family members that go to, yeah, like they don't call. They just get paid and they don't care. You know what I mean? Maybe they do call. I don't know. If you are from Mexico and let us know. Do they call your house? Yeah, because I know here, if we miss a day at school, they call in. I remember the times we would ditch. Like, I would run home to make sure that I would delete the message before my parents got home, because I was not trying to get my ass kicked. So, I don't know. Let us know, you guys. Do they call?
Yeah, because here, you know, in order for them to get paid for us, we have to be present. So, if you aren't there, they're not getting paid. So, they will call and look for you.
Yeah, but I think over there they pay to go to school, so they already got the money. They don't fucking care. As long as
they're like,
it's already in hand, you know. Oh, yeah, you didn't show up today. Oh well. Anyway,
no refunds.
So he's in there for 21 days, and pretty much this pig he's in there. This pig transforms from a pig to a man and then to a woman, and he said that at this point this entity would like shapeshift a lot, and it was kind of freaking him out because at some points it would just completely disappear and he could still hear it. So he'd be like, show yourself, because it's less scary for me to communicate with someone I'm seeing than just a voice in the air. And I don't know, I feel like these demons are pretty like compliant, because you know, he came out, he's like, all right, I'm here I am. And so he pretty much prepares him for a ritual. And during this prepping time, they gave him a ring. They give him a ring, which is called the Ring of King Solomon. Okay. Solomon?
Yeah, like from
Solomon?
Yeah.
Solomon. King Solomon's ring, pretty much. And he says in another word, it's also called Lucas Dominion, and it's pretty much just a dominating ring. So when he has this ring, he is able to control servants, like lower class demons type of thing, which, you know, in essence would also help him achieve his goal in getting money, getting knowledge, and whatever, right? But this ring has a catch. He has to sacrifice someone in his family. And at this point, you know, he's going down the list of family members. He's all like, it's not going to be my mom because I love her. I don't want to kill my siblings because I'm doing this for them. Like, I want to make sure that I have this money so my siblings could be well supported. And then he starts thinking about grandma. And he's like, well, grandma's lived her life. You know, she's old. You know, she's lived. So he settles on killing his grandma. So this demon pretty much gives him instructions on how to activate the ring. And I want you to listen to when he talks about killing his grandma. So we're going to go to our video, and you're going to move it to 15 minutes and 48 seconds. And then you're going to stop at 16:39.
Dije, mi madre, pues no la quiero mucho. Sí. Mis hermanos, pues no, porque por eso lo estoy haciendo. Y pensé en mi abuela. Le dije, pues ella está grande, ya vivió, perdón. Entonces, me indicaron cómo tenía yo que hacer todo eso. Y a mi abuela la maté. Bueno, no debo decirlo así. Me duele porque el arrepentimiento me ha llegado, pero no puedo salirme de aquí porque...
So yeah, it sounds rough. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds like you can just hear in his voice, like, the remorse. But, like, I don't know, my head is like, where was that at when...
Yeah, but what did he do to her?
Okay, that's where I'm going.
Okay.
So, he pretty much says that he puts his grandma lives by herself. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, he goes to visit grandma. Grandma, I'm sure, is happy to see him. You know, she loves her grandchildren, lets him in. And then he puts her to sleep with chloroform. And then he says that he starts performing a ritual, which pretty much he needs to put the ring on her heart finger, which is her middle finger, on her left hand. And at this point, he pretty much continues to mutilate her body. And in this ritual, he has to, like, you know, I'm sure carve stuff in her body, like symbols and stuff like that, collect blood. I don't know. He doesn't go into full detail on the ritual, but he does say that it was pretty brutal. Mm-hmm. And he does say that, you know, after that, he gets the ring. It goes on his left hand on the same finger. And he says that he was very surprised that when they find her body the next day, it did not have one scratch on it. He performed a whole ass satanic ritual on her, and she has no marks of it. Nothing. And he does say that he did do some pretty hardcore stuff to her body. Mm-hmm. So he does say that he thinks that this is the way that the demons or the devil protect their followers. Like, if they're, like, really doing this, that way so they can keep performing what they're doing, you know? So, but yeah, so he kills his grandma, and no one suspects him because there's nothing on her body to show. They just think she died a natural death. Mm-hmm. After all this is done, the demons pretty much say, our time with you is done. We have heard your pleas, and we're going to take your petition into consideration, and, you know, stand by. Pretty much, that's what they tell him, like, you know, thanks. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, this ring of why do I keep saying Salamon? Like I'm talking about the fucking Lord of the Rings. I don't fucking know.
Solomon?
Okay. Yeah, this ring of Solomon, it comes with a spirit attached to it already. So now, not only does he have fucking homie from the first ritual, now he has the demon that's stuck to this ring. So now he has two demons that are stuck with him, and he sees them every day. You know, they're just following him around, into the universe. You know.
I wondered, like, do they talk to him? Do they talk to each other?
They do. I don't know if they talk to each other. Maybe, like, I don't see why not. But they definitely talk to him, and he's not having a good time. He says after this ritual, he starts seeing a lot more entities, and they start tormenting him and making fun of him. And he's not getting anything that he wanted at this point. At this point, he was just proper fucked because, like, he just killed grandma, everything. Like, he's slightly getting what he wants, but to him, it wasn't worth it to kill his grandma, you know?
Yeah.
So he starts talking about how one of the upsides is that he was going to school, and he ended up becoming analista bacteriólogo parasitólogo. I don't know if this is the right translation because I have no idea what that job entails. I can only kind of translate it. And to me, it sounds like he's bacteria and parasite analyst. He says that this career takes 8 years to complete. And he completed it in 6 months. Yeah, 6 months. And he pretty much says like he did work on the head person of this program. Mm-hmm. He said that, you know, he did some work on him, you know, some stuff. Pretty much, I'm sure he probably did like some sort of like ritual or some sort of jar or something to like make him just accept him and graduate him pretty fast. So he said because of that, he was able to start his own company at age 20. And his company was actually making pretty good money. Like, he's making good money. The host asked him, so, okay, so you are making money then? And he says yes, but no. He says that when he makes money, if he, let's say he gets $15,000, he says he has to spend that the same day he gets it. Because if he doesn't spend it at the same time, he's going to have to do more work to get that same amount again. And that's more pieces of him he has to give up. And he says this money, he can't just give out. Like, you know, one of the reasons he did this was for his family. Like, he wanted this money to give it to his family. But he can't even give this money to his family. He can't give this as, you know, he can't give this money out with love. He can't give it out to help somebody. Like, any money he gives, it has to have some sort of reward for him. So, like, for me, I'm like, dude, that just whatever. So he gives an example, and he says that pretty much he was buying some land in California, and he was talking to some of the contractors, and you know, he was talking very well to one of them, and this guy was just telling him his problems, and he ends up giving him some money. And, you know, the guy's really like, thanks, man. I really appreciate the help, blah, blah, you know. So he's leaving, you know, he's feeling good. And he heads home. As soon as he opens that door, this woman appears out of nowhere and just starts beating him. She just starts beating him, yelling at him, calling him stupid, just fucking him up. And mind you, he lives alone. So one of these demons end up popping up and is punishing him for giving money out.
So he's not allowed to share.
He's definitely not allowed to share at all. So, you know, he starts talking about this woman. And while he's on the phone, he starts saying that, you know, this had happened a while ago. And now this woman is with him too. So now he has 3 demons following him. And he's saying that he has not been able to get rid of this woman. And he says while he's on the phone with this, with Juan Ramon Sainz, that this woman is literally standing right behind him. So he ends up asking, like, so what does this woman look like? And he's all like, she's a really thin woman with hair, you know, to right to her mid-back. And she's got no feet.
So she just floats, or?
That's exactly what he asked. He's like, so is she floating? And the guy pretty much says he's not exactly sure if she floats or not.
He never really looked down, or?
I don't know.
He didn't see her feet when she was hitting him?
Hold on. She didn't. I'm sure. You know what? You're right. Because if I'm getting hit, I'm looking down. So I don't know. But she has a long dress. So maybe that's what
covering?
It is.
Okay.
It's covering. But he said that the only reason he noticed that she didn't have feet was one day when she was tormenting him. She was like beating him. And then she just jumped to the ceiling. And while she jumped up to the ceiling, her dress lifted and it didn't show any feet. So that's the only reason why he saw that she didn't have any feet.
Does he know? He doesn't know why she's attached to him?
Yeah, she's attached with him because he gave money out and he's doing stuff he's not supposed to.
Yeah, but was he told? Like, it kind of seems like he's being told to do things, but he's also not being told the rules.
Yeah.
Because that's what it sounds like. If somebody would have told him, look, you're going to get money, but you can't share. And if you do share, then this is going to happen. Then he wouldn't have done it.
Well, the thing is, like, sometimes he just does it. Like, he did say that he has had warnings before that you shouldn't do this. And I guess just this one was it. Like, because when the lady attacks him, she did say, like, why are you stupid? We've given you plenty of warnings and you're not listening. And so now she's there beating him up, you know, tormenting him.
Now she got to babysit him.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, they're babysitting him, but at the same time, they're not really, like, helping
Helping.
any. Yeah, at all. Like, they're pretty much just fucking with him. And he's saying that he's kind of scared to look at her because she has, like, a really big mouth and a really big tongue. So I'm sure she's just kind of creepy looking to, like, see. But it's crazy because during this,
Her tongue sticking out her mouth. Her
yeah.
mouth just open.
Yeah, like Kiss style. But it's a lady. I don't know. That's just what I picture.
Mm.
But yeah, he does say, like, what I was saying, like, when she attacks him, she will tell him, like, what's wrong with you? Why don't you understand? Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know. Like, it's just crazy. And so, at this point of the interview, you start hearing, like, paranormal sounds. Like, you just start hearing stuff shuffle around. Because before, like, we are, like, 30 minutes into the interview, and there has been nothing but, you know, them talking. But now you're starting to hear stuff when this lady is appearing. And it's crazy because this lady, like, all these entities are there, but they're just able to freely roam his house. Like, he says sometimes they're in the room, sometimes they're like roommates, they're just kind of doing their own thing. And at some point in this call, the lady ends up moving from behind him to sitting in a chair in front of him, and she just kind of like watching him like, so you telling people now, eh?
She's like, be prepared for your next punishment, but I'm gonna let you finish though.
Exactly. And he's pretty much saying that, oh, you want to hear some of the paranormal stuff that starts happening?
Sure. Where are we going?
So you're gonna go from 2810 to 2832.
Okay.
Donde vaya. Esta persona, le digo, me hace, oh por Dios. Oh, es que hace muchas cosas y estoy un poco alterado. Fíjese que eso me está pasando algo muy raro, señor. Sí. He presenciado cosas y he visto cosas de las que no me he atemorizado. Sí. Y sin embargo, en este...
Yeah, so they're like moving stuff around.
Yeah, they're moving stuff around. They're just
background.
freaking him out. And you hear him like, oh, like he reacts to the sounds. And he starts kind of saying that, you know, the sounds startle him, but they don't scare him as bad as the actual entities themselves when they are acting crazy. So, he pretty much starts saying that lately he's been getting this strange feeling, like a strong energy. And he's having this feeling that something's gonna happen. He knows it's nothing good.
Something bad's about to happen.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know when.
Exactly. So during this whole time, you know, this lady's acting up and he starts mumbling some stuff. And he pretty much just says that he pretty much just starts saying that he has to like show these demons who's boss. Because don't forget, he still has that ring. Please say the name, Kim.
Solomon.
Thank you.
the Ring of Solomon.
Yes, he still has the Ring of Solomon. And he has to tell him like, listen, I'm still protected. You're still like, even though you're tormenting me, you're still my bitch. So you need to back up. So he's saying this to her because she's starting to get close to him. Like she wants to like, you know, like attack him. So he's mumbling these things to keep her back. And at this point, he's saying that he's telling her to back up. And then he starts freaking out. And he's saying that he's not scared because he knows that at this moment she can't do anything to him. But she's starting to hold this item in her hand that freaks him out. And he says it's pretty much like an inverted cross that is like arrows. So like, you know, like a cross with like points. And in the center, it's like a crystal or a crystal eye. And he said that he has been told that when he sees this symbol, that he's going to die. And he's starting to see this while he's on the call. So I'm guessing at this point, like, you know, we all know that the forces of evil do not like to be talked about. You know what I mean? So at this point, it's like, bitch, you got us on live radio. Like, what is your problem? So she starts holding this thing up and he's freaking out. And he's like, I don't want to die and stuff like that. So he's tripping. And the host is kind of, you know, trying to calm him down, right? There's a point where he starts chanting and she leaves. And a girl, like, when he has this sigh of relief, I felt that shit. Like, I'm over here listening to it, and he's like, oh, she's gone. And the sigh of relief he throws, I felt that, Kim. Like, I'm at home listening, and I'm like, she left. Oh, thank God the bitch left. Like, I'm over here grabbing the wall, like, trying not to, like, fall off. So I want you to listen to that sigh of relief, because tell me you do not feel that shit, because I felt that. So go ahead and go to 30 minutes and 10 seconds to 30 minutes and 41 seconds. And tell me you don't feel that shit. Damn, I think I have the wrong one. For some of these, when I put the minutes down, I think I fucked up. And I started noticing that, but I couldn't really go back. Fuck.
Yeah, because I didn't hear a sigh.
Yeah.
He just sounds freaked out.
Yeah, no. When I'm telling you this episode was intense, I'm telling you, it was pretty intense. Whatever. I can't find it right now, but I'll find it and I'm going to send you the time step and you listen to it, because that's Sigh of Relief. It's fucking intense. Like, I'm telling you, like, I've listened to a lot of, like, ghost stories and a lot of, like, horror stories, but it's been very few of them that I've had, like, that kind of impact to a snippet of it. And that Sigh of Relief is just, like, I feel like I cited relief afterwards, too. Like, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, like, it was getting real rough for a second for him.
Yeah, it really was. So she leaves, right? And then he starts telling Juan Ramon Saenz that he pretty much can't stand this woman anymore. He's like, this woman, I guess out of all the entities, she's been the one tormenting him the most. And he's saying that he's going to go a few hours from where he lives to a place called the Blue Mountains at 2 a.m. And he's going to attempt a ritual to try to get rid of her. And he starts talking about some scripture that he's going to put in there. So in my head, I'm all like, so are you going to, like, tie her down to this mountain? Like, is she going to be haunting this mountain now?
Hey, he said, long as she haunting the mountain and not me.
But then, like, don't forget there are people out here that like to go out into nature and shit like that. Like, imagine how much it's like, this dude just went to this mountain.
They gonna learn real quick. Sign. Don't go out to that one.
Don't go to that particular cave. And it's just like, so is he just going to, like, tie her down there? Like, I just, in my head, I just imagine people going in there and all of a sudden they see this fucking tall, thin woman with big mouth, big tongue, like,
sticking out.
Yeah, like, like, that sucks.
Sitting in a chair, staring at them.
I don't even know if he left her a chair.
No, but... well, wait, was she using his chair when she sat across from him?
She was sitting on his furniture.
I thought she brought her own chair.
Did you hear that?
Ooh, no, I didn't. Don't look around like that.
Hold on, Carlos is knocking. Hold on. Yeah, I was getting scared too. What do you want? You're scaring us.
I was out here crying.
Okay.
Oh no.
You scared us.
Why?
Because we were in the middle of talking of a demon, and all of it I hear. You know, like, do you hear that, Kim?
I just see the panic on your face. I was like, oh no.
It's happening. They're here. But anyway. The cat's in the room. Anyway. Where was I? Oh yeah. So fucking homegirl is using his furniture. These demons are like legit like roommates. Like, they're just out there doing their own thing, and when they feel like it, they go and beat on this dude and just fuck with him, you know? Fucking the disrespect.
They're like, let's go see what he's doing.
Rent, nothing. Yeah, let's go. But yeah. So he's saying that he's gonna go to this cave at 2 a.m. and he's gonna try to get rid of her. So he talks about one of the main reasons he's gonna try to get rid of her. And he starts saying that a few nights ago, this bitch went into his room, and he says that in his room he collects a lot of antiques, and he says a lot of these antiques have energies, and he sees them. And I guess those energies amplify the spirits he's with. You know, he's not doing it to amplify them. He just likes antiques. So and in return they do get amplified. And he was saying that she went into his room where he happens to have antiques. And I guess she was getting more power, and she was able to, you know, go lay right next to homie and, you know, start.
Whoa.
Yeah, start
with her big tongue.
With her big toe.
Lick
She's
the
over here
whole
just,
side of his face. Like.
she over here, like caressing his neck, like, trying to get some love, Even demons need love.
Mhm.
And, he is freaking out. He's like, I am not down. And she pretty much tells him, you've done some bad stuff. So that means you gotta do some stuff in return for me. And he's just laying there, like, frozen, like, I did not agree to this.
Yep,
but he did say
no,
anything. But he did say anything. You know what I mean? He said anything but his soul.
And I did say, you didn't take your body off the table.
He did not take that body off the table. So he was saying that, she's trying to get some loving, right? And he's like, I can't. He's like, I cannot stand this. Like, I am not going to. I don't know why this kind of reminds me of, what movie is it? No, it's not Friday. Is it, Don't be a
menace?
Don't be a menace while drinking juice. How does it go? In the Hood. Yeah. I think it's that movie. But the part where
when they're in the mail truck.
The mail, yes. That's what it reminds me of. Oh man. That's what it reminds me of though. Like, he over here, he's like, I'm gonna get this deal, I'm gonna do it, you know what I mean? Like, money, fame, knowledge, let's go. And then he's getting it and he looks and all of a sudden turns to a demon. He's like, ah! Like,
yeah.
That's what happened to him.
That's what you signed up for.
Exactly. So, he starts talking to the host and stuff like that. He's like, listen, I'm going back to God. I'm going back to Jesus. I can't do this no more. So he starts telling him that he still believes in God because he said the Bible is pretty much what turned him into like witchcraft. Because he's all like, in the Bible, they talk about, the devil and stuff like that. So if the Bible's talking about it, it's got to be true. So he just goes to the other team because he's calling out for God and he's not coming to him, so he's going to the other side and see what he can get there. But I don't know, I just think it's funny because he starts like rambling and he's saying like, man, this shit's whack. Like, I still gotta go to work. I gotta get up at 4 a.m. every day. I gotta go to work. I gotta go to the meetings. I gotta do all this stuff. I get the money. I can't even do what I wanted to do. He's like, I did this pact so I wouldn't really have to work like that. I got it so I can just have the money. I can go out and travel. I can go out and live life, meet women, which when he's all like, meet women, I started laughing because this whole time while he's talking, he sounds like he's a little bit for the other team. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so, like,
you're like women.
Yeah. Yeah. When he starts talking about it. Yeah. I'm like,
you sure?
Are you sure? Yeah. Yeah. So, for me, when he said that threw me for a loop in and on itself. So, but you know what? Like I said, do you, bro, whatever. As long as it's not harming anyone and you're all good, do you,
Maybe he wants to try everything. Let him try everything.
He did say he wanted it all.
Hey, all is all.
Hey, there you go. And so he starts talking about that. And, he's saying that, like, he has his money. He can't even spend it the way he wants it. He hasn't even lived life yet. Like, and now he's getting these symbols that he's going to die. And he's like, and I don't want to die. He's all like, I want to have fun. And, it's not happening. He starts telling the host that he starts to realize changes in his own physical body. He's saying that he has photos where his nose has kind of started to elongate. And he's just starting to, in his words, deform. But not deform enough that he's ugly because, he still looks good. He said, not to say that I'm ugly or anything like that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you sure?
I need to see a picture of him because...
Oh, you'll see one because he's average.
Yeah, because I'm like, it's, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I'm like, I don't
Definitely.
know. I gotta.
Oh, hold on. Let me pull up a picture.
Assess this myself.
I think this is supposed to be a good looking one of him.
You said, I think this is supposed to be a good looking one.
Shut up. Let me see.
That is not looking, it's not about to be, it's not looking good.
That's him.
You know who he kind of looks like?
Who?
That dog whisperer guy.
Oh no, Kim.
No, if he had
no.
gray hair and was older, like this dude could be like his family member. Like they look very similar to me.
They're more. Let me see. And I think this is like what the
That's the ring. The
yeah.
Ring of Solomon.
Yeah. Thank you. I don't know why I keep trying to say. I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore. So he starts saying that he's also getting bruises on his body that look evil.
Mhm.
So when he says that, in my head, I'm starting to think like he's got some like symbols or some sort of like, you know, like
Some.
symbols. Yeah. Like on his body. Like,
Man,
so he's
just listening to this, it's like it's 100% not worth it. He didn't even get
That's
what
what I'm
he asked
saying.
for. He didn't want to work. He just wanted the money.
and just to be smart. So, you know, I'm sure just to have like conversations with people, you know?
They're like, you're definitely going to converse because the demons are going to follow you and they're going to live with you.
You're definitely going to have people, someone to talk to, something to
Yeah.
talk to
Yeah, you're going to
Yeah.
learn real quick.
on what not to do. But yeah, so he starts saying that he's like taking pictures and, you know, having like some sort of scientific stuff because, you know, he's like a scientist out here and shit.
Mhm.
So the host starts asking him if he can remove the ring, and he pretty much says no. He says he cannot remove the ring. He said he tried to remove it once and he dislocated his finger. Yeah. And it's not like
Like
I'm
put
looking
a little
at-
oil or something. Start spinning
yeah.
it around.
he said that the ring looks like it should come out. Like he said, it spins around, like, you know, like it's not tight. So it's not like, you know, his fingers are bulging because it's so tight. Like, no, it's a good fit. Like it looks like it should be able to slide out, but it just will not come off. The host pretty much starts like, let's see if we can get our resident priest in here to come and help you out. But they can't get a hold of him. So this episode, which is probably going to be like our episode, goes from being just 1 day to 2 days because they have to get a hold of the priest for the next day, because at this point this is live on radio, you know what I mean? People are freaking out for this guy. They're all like, man, we gotta help him, there's something we gotta do, you know, like, you know. So the next day they get a hold of the priest, which is his name is Roberto Wasso. And he's a Christian priest, and, you know, they pretty much just give him the rundown of what's been going on in his life, right? He pretty much, you know, tells him, like, they pretty much tell him, like, you got to get rid of everything that's satanic in your house, like, now. And he tells him, like, I don't have anything. He's like, I've been got rid of all my satanic stuff. He's like, the only thing that I still have is this ring because I can't get it off. So they're like, all right, that's a good start. And they start asking him, like, okay, so what are you doing? What are you doing in the now to start getting rid of them? Like spiritually, like properly. And he says that he's going to a Mormon church. He's been there for a while, but he's never touched a subject on what's happened to him, to them. But he says that he does go to Catholic priests because he seems like they can help him more. But when he goes to these priests, they pretty much tell him, like, you can do it. Like, you know, you just got to believe, you know, just pray it out. You'll be fine. And he's saying, like, they don't understand. Like, I am getting beaten.
He's like, there's a demon literally right here. Like, they literally follow me everywhere into this church.
Yeah.
And you're
Like,
telling me
this
just
one
to
just
believe.
yeah. Just believe it. He's like, believe those licks aren't real. Like, just ignore it, you know?
He's like, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Wow, she's probably smacking him all upside the head. Like, why are we here?
Which they do. He says that they do just attack whatever they want. So imagine you're over here having a conversation and homie's like convulsing. You're like, ah! Like, do I need to call 911?
His head
like,
just snaps to the left because he's been slapped in the face. Like,
like, are you, like, at this point I'm like, okay, good talk. I'm going over there.
man, because you know how, like, we try not to react when stuff happens, and we'll look at each other like,
Yeah.
the heck just happened? We're like, well, we'll talk to you later.
Later. Bye.
And just be out
But
of
yeah.
there.
Girl. So the priest, Robert Wasso, he pretty much just tells him, like, dude, this is not going to be an easy task. Get ready for spiritual warfare, because that's pretty much what we're going to do. You're pretty much going to be fighting for your freedom, for your soul, you know, for you to be let go. And it's not going to be easy. Let me tell you that. So he was pretty much telling him, instead of going to these Catholic priests, go to a Christian priest. Tell them what's going on, and then find someone who at that moment is going to start praying for you, with you, and give you guidance on how to have these entities let you go. He's like, that's what you need. He's like, you need guidance. And even the guy's like, I don't even know where to start. He's like, with these books, there were like instructions, like, I can do this, I can do that. But like, you know, when you try to flip the other way, there's really nothing you can do other than what they tell you is pray, you know? And he's all like, I'm praying. Praying.
He said, I got that part down. What's the rest? Tell me what else to do.
Like, come on, man. I was able to freaking bring these people out. Like, my prayers are good. Like, you know, they work. And so he's like, you need to find a priest who's going to guide you. And which is true. You know, a lot of churches and stuff like that, they have designated priests who help people help people get entities off of them, and they're specifically trained for that purpose, because this is some hard shit to do, you know. So he's like, you need one of them. While this is going on, they start giving him like a little mini baptism on air, and this is when shit gets real. Like, you start hearing voices and stuff like that, because at first, like day 1, you were just hearing stuff move around. But day 2, you're starting to hear voices. Like, you start hearing them laugh and stuff like that. Like, it gets wild. Like, I'm like, ah! Yeah. So, you know, let's rewind. Remember the day before, he said that he was going to go to the mountain to try to get rid of this bitch, right? And he pretty much tells them about his journey on trying to get rid of her. So he's like, listen, I went to the mountain at 2 a.m. You know, I had a family meeting. They all arrived, and I was like, you need to go. And they pretty much just laughed at me. They called me stupid. Yeah. I'm like, what's new? He's all like, take it back. I don't want any of this shit. Take it back. Like, y'all need to go. And they're like, listen, the stuff we gave you, you can't take back. You stuck with us, whether you like it or not. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure if this happens here. Or let me see.
See, I get part of the issue is that when he met that first dude, the guy in black, and he was like, just go with it. He should be like, nah, I got some questions.
Yeah, I know.
But he just went with it. And now it's like, look at all of this that you have to deal with now because homie didn't tell you any specifics. For all he knows is they was following him. And he was like, you know what? They're yours now.
Yeah, I know. He's like, this one's stupid. Just follow him. Because, like, I will say, for anything that I know, when you're doing a petition, you got to be really specific. Because you know what they say, be careful what you wish for. Because, you know, there's different ways of reading the same thing. So you got to be real specific on what you want. And he just wasn't like, if he was not going to take his petition, he should have been like, no, I'm not trying to have any surprises. This ends now. But no, he didn't. He just kind of went along with it. But at the same time, he was just a kid.
Yeah,
I
was 14. Like, yeah, he's a teenager.
He didn't know.
So
he's barely learning about stuff. I'm sure when he was talking to these witch doctors, these shamans, they weren't telling him that because a lot of shamans and witch doctors, they want your money. They want you to pay them to have it get done. So they're not going to tell him like, oh, you got to be real specific with your, you know, your petitions. If they're not listening, you got to be like, no, that means that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Red flag. Yeah. Move on, you know. But he didn't have anyone to tell that stuff to him. So anyway, like I'm saying, it's gonna start getting real because even here, like the second day, I was like, Anyway, all right. So like I said, they make fun of him like, you cannot get rid of us. There's nothing you can do. And so, you know, he's pretty much just telling this priest like, he's all like, I need help. Like, he's like, I need God. He's like, I pray to God. I ask him for comfort. I ask him, he's like, just for comfort. He's like, and I get nothing. He's like, I need some help. And he's like, I need some help. He's like, listen, if I call a demon, they show up with the quickness. They are right here ready for whatever it is that I need. But I call for some good help, all I get is a fucking bleep, 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 bleep. me. You know what I mean? And he's like, there's nothing. He's like, where do I start? And I feel like this whole thing is just him asking, like, what do I do? What do I do? And it's just like, like, go find a priest that can help you. So, you know, at this point, the host starts hearing stuff in the background. So he asked Josue, are you by yourself right now? And the guy's like, yeah. And he's all like, what's that noise behind you? And he's like, oh, well, I'm by myself. Like, I live by myself.
Like, I told you, the demons.
But they're 4 demons.
4? Wait.
They're 4 now. So remember, he got the first one he was stuck with.
I thought he had 3.
When he went to the mountain and he did that ritual, he's starting to hear another voice. So that is a 4th demon he has now. So now he has 4 entities with him. And, you know, that mountain one was just to try to get rid of them. They're all like, bro, like, you stupid. Now you have +1. Like,
he was like, I was trying to go down to 2. Now I got 4.
Yeah. So he's telling him now he has 4 demons with him.
I'm going to assume the first 2 aren't trying to have sex with him. And that's why he's like, okay, this girl one gotta go. Yeah. See, that's why I'm telling you. Maybe that's why he's a little... Well, I mean, we have to find out if the others have offered.
That's true. I don't know. He does not ever mention it. I don't know. You know, I'm going to listen to him. I'm going to believe him. But, like, I don't know. But yeah, mainly he wants to get rid of that bitch who's trying to sleep with him. Like, we got a succubus in the vicinity. We need her out. So at this point, he's actually starting to sound really determined. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be behind the Lord. I'm going to read the scriptures and I'm going to figure out and learn from the Bible and see how I can get rid of him. He's like, because if I could learn from the other textbooks, I can do the same thing with the Bible. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, man, you can do this. You got this. And then he starts hearing voices. And at this point, not only can he hear the voices, but we can hear the voices. You want to hear them? Yes, we do. You ready?
Okay, where am I going?
All right, so we're going to 53 minutes to 53 minutes and 24 seconds.
De salir de esto y de que tenga la confianza que Dios perdona. Y esto, ¿qué características tiene que tener Josué? ¿Qué está pasando, Josué?
No, están hablando, están gritando estos seres, pero no pasa nada, Señor, continúe.
Are they singing?
He's saying that they're yelling. They're yelling at him. But did you hear like like fucking seals up in the house? Like, I don't know. But yeah, so at this point, we're starting to hear them. And I'm starting to freak out a little bit in my chesticles. I'm like, oh my God, you know? Yeah, they're starting to talk to us. The priest gives them instructions like, listen, you just need to be God, Jesus, all day, every day, 24/7. Like, you need to call him, pray to him, read the Bible, you know, and stop calling the fucking demons. Just stop. Leave them alone. Do not interact with them. And so the priest starts having a little, like, you know, prayer for him, and it does not go well. When he starts praying for him, trying to liberate him, he starts vomiting like really bad, like it's bad. If you want to hear it, we can go to the timestamp. If you don't, we can skip it.
What,
I got
when he starts to throw up.
Yeah. All right. 54:30 to 55.
Cristo los venció en la cruz. Jesucristo, con la sangre preciosa que derramó en esa cruz, dio libertad del pecado, dio libertad al hombre para poder encontrar a su Creador. Jesucristo es el Señor de nuestra vida, es el Rey de Reyes y Señor de Señores, y es el único que tiene toda autoridad para desechar lo maligno, porque Cristo Jesús es el Señor y no hay otro como Él.
I don't know. I feel like this is something that should have been done in person, not over the phone.
Yeah. They do talk about that. They do say that it's really difficult because he's so far from them, because this radio station is in Mexico and he's in California. And that's why the guy's telling him, like, you need to go find a Christian priest over there. Because they do say it's like, you know, there's a long distance between us, but we can start here. It's never too late to start. or too early to start.
Mhm.
But yeah, this whole time, he's doing these prayers for him, and he's not taking very well to them. Like at this point, it sounds like he's kind of possessed. Yeah. So how do you feel so far about this?
I don't know. It's
story?
interesting, especially the fact that it happened like live on the radio, basically.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that he felt comfortable enough to call them back after, the demons was like, "What are you doing? You telling people?"
But don't forget, at this point, he's calling because he's so desperate. He really wants this to be over, and he's all like, I need help, because he does say that. He does go on. He tells me he's like I've gone to everyone and anyone who could, and you can hear in his voice, he's all like, he's like the way he says is like anyone to help me, and you just feel like his.
I don't know. I don't feel like he has, because I'm like, living in California, like he should have been able to find some Catholic priest somewhere out this way that could have helped him.
But I feel like around this time, like what this was.
I guess it also depends on where in California. Is he in Northern California or Southern California?
Well, they say he's in El Monte.
So he's in
California?
Southern California.
Yeah. And like, when did this happen? In 2000 and I said what year it happened, right?
No, you were saying like the radio guy.
Oh dang, I can't believe. Well, he called in 2002.
Okay,
by the way,
2002.
So this is 2002. Around this time, priests and stuff like that are very serious about who they consider being. Well, first of all, he's not really possessed or anything like that. He's just being haunted, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's harder for them to like do something like that, from exorcism to like, what is that? To cleansing or something like that. And I feel like it takes the same level of priests for exorcisms to be able to detach someone from these type of things too. And let's not forget, there's not a lot of priests out there who are qualified to do these kind of things. And in order to do this, first of all, you have to go through a psych evaluation. You got to go through a whole lot of stuff to make sure that this is not just some psychological thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think, even if he wanted to go through those channels, I don't feel like he had enough knowledge to know where to even start for that. Because me personally, if I had something like this going on, I wouldn't even know where to start in a Catholic church to be like, where do I need to go? And even they themselves are very hush-hush about that kind of stuff. So it was just probably hard for him to find something like that. And I think that's why he was more drawn to Catholic Church, because you hear all the time that Catholic people do this kind of stuff. And in the Christian religion, you don't really hear it as much. Maybe they're more like, low key on their stuff.
And because he said he was going to a Mormon church.
Yeah, which why? Like, you know what? I'm not throwing any shade to any religion out there. Like, whatever. Like, to me, I feel like all religions are pretty much the same.
What happened was he was walking down the street and they rolled up on him on those bikes.
Maybe
that's what happened.
And
he was like, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. He went.
Yeah.
Because you know how to, I don't know. Any of you guys live in Southern California, y'all know them Mormon, and it's always some like regular looking white guys, and they'll roll up on the bike and start trying to talk to you and get your phone number so they can hassle you to go to church with them. I have called somebody on the phone so that I could be occupied, like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the phone, because they will get you.
They're very persuasive, you know what I mean? And
persistent,
you know what I mean?
Because like, they will keep calling too if you make the mistake of giving them your number.
Your phone number, yeah. And I don't know, like I said, I feel like a lot of religions pretty much teach like loving one another, being open, so it doesn't matter what church you go to. You want to be surrounded by love of God and stuff like that, right? So maybe that's why he did it. But like, he didn't tell anybody. But I guess like, you're in a Mormon church, like they don't talk about that kind of stuff. Like, I have a family member who's a Jehovah's Witness, so it's not the same thing. But like they don't believe in any of this kind of stuff. Like, this is a no-go. So like, I'm sure that in some religions it's similar, you know what I mean? Like, this does not exist, only God, all day, every day.
Yeah.
So he was at a good start. He went somewhere to get that kind of connection. Maybe they just don't have the kind of equipment for this kind of job,
Maybe that makes sense.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know, like, I'm telling you, Kim, this was This was real stressful to listen to. It was stressful. It was just like, ah! But yeah.
I'm like, I wish it had subtitles because I'd read through what he was saying.
Man, that's why I'm doing this. Like, for me, it's kind of long because I'm trying to tell you what they're saying.
Yeah.
Kind of in the rundown, but it's a long thing because I've been researching this and I can only find it in Spanish, and not everyone speaks Spanish. Like, I'm lucky enough to know Spanish, so I can come here and try to give this information out in English. But I'm just saying, like, dude, I just wish there was someone out there that can just translate it so people can read it in
because it's almost 3 hours.
Yeah, but it's so good, and you hear it in his voice. Like, come on, those clips that we've heard, you can't tell me this guy is not scared. Like, this dude is going through some shit. Yeah, so far, that's that so far. It's not about that yet, though. So,
we haven't reached the end.
We have not reached the end. So, you guys, go ahead. Let us know. How do you guys feel? Like, what are your thoughts about this? Me, if you can watch it, I'd prefer you not to watch it. Go with us, follow along with us. But if you must watch it on your own, go for it, and let us know, like, what are your thoughts? Like I don't even know how to phrase it. Like, what are your thoughts? Do you think
this is real? Is this not real?
Is this real? Is this not real? Is he, like, he keeps saying that he has, like, all this, like, sorrow and regret about these things. Do you think he deserves the retribution from this? Because let's not forget, he killed his grandma. He was down to almost take this baby from this lady down the street. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like, I feel bad for him. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I feel bad for him, but it's just like, bro, like, you were doing
brought it upon himself. Shit.
Yeah. So, I don't know, you guys. Tell me, did the means justify the end? Like, what are your thoughts just about this in general? Let me know, because I would like to know, because I have my own thoughts and I want to see if we can bounce.
Let's have a discussion.
Yeah, let's have a discussion. Girl, I'm hungry. If you guys can hear my stomach growling, I am sorry. It is early. So, we're recording on a Saturday. We usually record on Fridays, but like I said, I got my second dose of Pfizer, and that was a late appointment. Kim had stuff to do, so she couldn't wait to postpone till later. So we settled on a Saturday morning. I don't like to wake up on the morning. I really don't. Like, I don't like to wake up late. Like, my ideal time to get up is like around 11 or 12. That is my morning. Do not come at me after
so
like
late.
Before that. Yeah. And I am up. My stomach's like feed me. Like, we're not used to being up. Like, now I'm wasting energy and I'm starving.
All right. So we got number 32. Belong to your own dream. Create your own life. It says, finding you have been following a path, and a path that is not truly your own. Deciding to take steps to live in a way that is authentic and truly your own. Rebelling. Wishing to live in your own world. No longer decisions. Staying with people or in jobs that are not part of your dream. Not being directed or governed by the desires and dreams of others. Deciding to make some big changes toward following the path that is your soul's true dream for its evolution this lifetime.
Sorry, my stomach just growled so hard right now.
The card said, do your own thing.
Do your own thing. And for me, my own thing is to go eat breakfast. But yeah, you guys, go do your own thing. Stop being in someone else's shadow and, just go out and live your best life. Because, at the end of the day, that's what's going to make you truly happy.
Yeah. That is it right there. You got to do you.
Real hard. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Stick around for part 2 where we find out how this ends. Because there is an ending to this story. And yeah, let's get on this roller coaster together. Don't forget, grab that sage or, that cedar wood or, that Palo Santo and, just
cleanse your space.
Because we need it out here. Cleanse your space. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week. This is Hyra.
And Kim.
And don't you guys forget, you're the bee's knees.
Item 9.
Bye.
Bye.
Can you hear my stomach?
No.
Can you hear my stomach? No? Okay, good. I don't know
Is
if Carson
that
can
loud?
hear it. Girl. Or because it's inside of me. So like it's vibrating inside of me. So like it's like traveling up and it's like in my ears.
Yeah. Your
Yeah.
stomach said, feed me now.
Feed, Miss Seymour.